Let me first introduce myself. I'm Dennis Smeltzer. I'm president of TSANet. Actually, on the line with us as well, we've got Paul Esch, who is in charge of the TSANet strategy and business development. He may have some insight for you here at the end of this call. If you've got any questions as far as TSANet strategy, he's on the line with us as well. Now here's the topics that I wanted to cover in this webinar. We'll kind of go through a little bit about the organization. I think a lot of people join into TSANet and they really don't understand what this organization is all about. So I want to touch on a few topics about that. Talk about the membership levels, which I think is going to be of some importance, and custom groups, which actually, by being a limited member, which this webinar is set up for, is what you're defaulted into, that type of relationship. But again, what I want to do is give you the higher level view of TSANet, and then you'll see actually where you fit into it. We'll also go into the real tactical stuff about how you place a call to other members and what you need to know before you call and how you escalate calls. And then kind of by going through this, we'll talk about how you can expand your membership. If you have any interest in it, there are a lot of things that are going on at TSANet right now. One of them is the ability for you to be able to log tickets directly through CRM system to CRM system between members. And if you have questions about that, Paul will be able to talk about that. You're going to see what you can do here with expanding this out into multiple members and the way that the structure is set up. So you can have more than one relationship with a particular company. And we'll talk about that as we get into the groups. And then what you're partaking in now is actually a custom group that was created by another company. We'll talk about what industry-wide, what other companies are doing about that within TSA. So kind of dig into the organization a little bit. I think it's important for everyone to understand that TSANet is set up as a not-for-profit. We have always been a not-for-profit organization, and we were set up by the industry over 20 years ago. And the whole goal around the organization was to have this set up so that the industry would be able to have an easy way to engage and collaborate with other companies in a multi-vendor support environment. So that's exactly what our scope is, what our mission is, and within the not-for-profit area of that certainly is what we are. We've actually lowered our member dues over the 20-year period as opposed to increasing them. And that's in alignment with the fact that we've been able to grow the organization, and our job is to turn that money around and put it back into the company. So there is no owner of TSANet. You as members are the owners of TSANet. And again, we just went through our 20-year anniversary last year. So we operate under a set of bylaws as opposed to other companies that are in the for-profit area. Those bylaws tell us what we can and can't do. And then so you know, there's a 9-person board of directors, and they are elected. There's 3 of them that are elected every year. As an organization, we've always operated off of a small global staff. We've got 6 people worldwide, although we've got Stephanie and Ryder over in Europe, in the UK, and Germany, respectively. And the other thing that you'll see is we've actually got several hundred members. So if you go to the members tab on the public side, you only see probably about 100 or so of our members. And as limited members, which we'll talk about, there's actually several hundred members. And we're going to change that a little bit in some of the upcoming versions of the database that are getting ready to come out. Okay. And then the last piece that I wanted to mention here is that TSANet is a core relationship structure. And a lot of companies are using it in these limited member hosted groups as well as one-to-one groups, but also at very high strategic levels. So you may have partnerships that are created and relationships that are created around specific product types and things like that. So TSANet is not just a one-shot thing. There's a lot of different things that you can do with relationships and how they're created. This slide I wanted to show you to give you just perspective. and you notice at the bottom of this, right, this is not available at a limited number level. This is how TSANet got started. And the reason, again, for perspective on this is to give you an idea of how this organization got started and what its core membership offering was. And actually to this date still is this. We got started as the ability for you to create or come into an ecosystem or a community. And you can come into one relationship and be able to engage and collaborate with everybody that's in there, as long as there was a mutual customer that was part of it. That has kind of morphed into two different, what we call many-to-many groups. There's the basic TSANet and the premium TSANet. The difference between the two is simply what level of entitlement does that customer have. At the basic level, we tell our members they can really define to the other members what is a mutual customer to them. It's typically what level of support contract. At the premium TSANet level, then that company is then obligated to respond back with certain SLAs and on a 24/7 basis to everybody else that's in that community, but then that customer must be entitled at that level. So this is kind of how TSANet got started and is still available to the membership today. What's happened in this next slide is that what we've done is gone into the ability for our members to use this, again, more as an infrastructure. And so what we do is we call this a custom group, and we offer our standard members the ability to create a one-to-many relationship from their perspective, and from the partner view, a one-to-one relationship. So what happens then is that the member coming in, the limited member coming in, works under the support elements, not as a group has decided, but as that host has decided. So the host then decides, is it a 24/7 relationship? What are the SLAs? What are the requirements for me to engage and collaborate? So each one of you will be operating under a different, what we call addendum, that is going to define what those support elements are. The one thing that is happening, because as companies are using this more as an infrastructure, is that a lot of the limited members are participating in multiple one-to-one relationships. And it kind of gets to a point where you might as well come in and join at the many level, but you do have the ability to work in multiple one-to-one relationships if that's the way that you'd like to utilize TSA. And I think the other thing that, just being quite blunt about it here to tell everybody, is that the standard member will utilize and create these hosted groups, and it's really advantageous to their perspective, because they don't then have to go out and create all these one-off relationships. So that's where you'll see TSANet being used, is by a company saying, hey, join into my specific group, and that way I know that I have an engagement mechanism with you, and I know that I have a relationship with you. And this is actually, quite honestly, a fairly easy way for those members to be able to create these relationships and make sure that they've got some kind of tactical implementation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go away from this slide deck and see if we can pull up the database. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit different view here. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. And I'm actually going to log in as a company that is part of these multiple relationships. So this company is actually, EMC is part of these multiple groups. So right now, when you would log into the directory, being a limited member, you're going to see only those companies that you have a relationship with. That, by the way, is going to change in some stuff that we've got upcoming. I'll talk about that in a second. But what I want you to see is what other companies can see. And this, if you want to upgrade, this would be the path that you would upgrade into. So if I go and I look here as an engineer and a call has come in from a customer, and I've decided that this is an issue that is multi-vendor in nature, and I need to engage another company. So these are all the companies then through TSANet that I have a relationship with. And what I could do is we'll go ahead and pick one. I'll give you an example. Say it's IBM. Well, the way IBM is set up is they've got multiple departments and also through multiple geos. So obviously you kind of see here that that I can engage them and for different product types and in different geos. So I wanted to give you a little bit different perspective. This was the directory search. I'm not sure where I lost that, but I wanted to show you what it looks like for the host. What they would actually see here is hundreds of companies, depending on the company they were logged in as, and they may have multiple relationships with them. I'll actually go here to another company, give you a perspective on that. You can see here's the departments under Microsoft, but then actually if I go here, I've got different relationships that I can engage them to. I just wanted to give you kind of a perspective on that. Let me go back to our slide deck, and then if when I open this up, if for anybody that has any questions, we can go back and look at the database. I think the other key takeaway here is that you were given this encrypted URL when you joined into TSANet through that landing page. If you want to go in and look at your process document as a program manager, I'm logged in as a caller here. You can go in to the tab up here called Departments, and you'll be able to actually go in and select your process document and edit that. So here, from my perspective, these are the key takeaways. To understand about the organization that I think it's important that everybody understand we are an organization of members, right? And those members are extremely important to us to let us know what your needs are within the industry, especially in the multi-vendor support area. We need to hear from you, and we need to know what it is that we as an organization can do to help you meet your needs as far as multi-vendor is concerned. Understand the relationship that you're using. Details regarding your hosted group. So I can't go in for confidentiality reasons and talk about all the different hosted groups that are there. But when you signed up to TSANet, or you can contact me directly, I can send you the addendum that has the support elements of that group that you signed up into. I think the next point here is the whole idea behind this is to not leave that customer in the middle and minimize the finger pointing. That's why the hosts want to set up these relationships and why they've asked you to participate. If you go back in and look at that process document, at the bottom of that will be some escalation instructions that they have posted for you. And if you were to have a problem to engage them, please use those escalation instructions. A little bit about what's coming up in TSANet within the next couple of quarters. We're actually going to release a new web collaboration tool, and you will be able to see, not engage, but you will be able to see all of the members that are part of TSANet, and they will be able to see you. Now, if you don't have a relationship with them, they aren't going to be able to go any further than that. There will be a point where it'll say, I'm sorry, you don't have a relationship with them. But the idea behind this is TSANet kind of being the catalyst will be able to let you know that, hey, another company has said they would like to have a relationship with you, or if you want to engage another company, we can be that broker for you and say, this company is already a member of TSANet. We have an easy way for you to establish a relationship with them. That's one of the new enhancements, and then we're coming in with a tile-based system and also easier for you to look at it on the tablet as well as smartphones. So those are some of the things that are coming up in through the next couple of quarters. The resources, as far as if you need to get a hold of us, we've got hundreds of people that are part of our LinkedIn group. I would highly suggest that you join into our LinkedIn group. And if you want to keep up on the new members coming into TSANet, we tweet every member regardless of whether they're a limited member or a basic or a premium. There's the phone number that you can get a hold of us at, and also the email address if you want to talk about anything regarding TSANet. That being said, I think that's it. I appreciate everybody attending this morning. Thanks very much.